Hi, how's it going? Today I'd like to share something with you that I think will be really helpful if you're pregnant or planning on being pregnant and giving birth soon. I am currently 37 weeks on my third baby. Have done this twice already and am preparing for my third birth. And in doing so, I have made out a list of all the tools that are available to me to help cope during labor. I call this my birth toolkit or my labor toolkit. And some of the things I will definitely use, some I mightn't, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's really empowering to know that you have so many tools at your disposal that can be really useful during labor. I've kind of divided this into three sections. So the first kind of list is for your pre-labor projects. So basically your pre-labor project could be something just to kind of keep you entertained. You can rest if you feel tired. That's a really good thing to do. Or maybe watch a funny movie, or have a little project like make a birthday cake for your baby if you like baking, or if you're crafty or knitting or crocheting, you could make something for the baby. So during my first labor, I was in pre-labor for a good few hours before it kind of really kicked off, and I ended up folding the little baby grows and all the little baby clothes and kind of sorting them into the drawers, and it was actually a really nice thing to do. It put me in a good mood. They're so cute and tiny. Something else that's nice to do is coloring. Recently got a really nice mandala coloring book. And I guess it's just something to do to keep you occupied, that's not too taxing, but that puts you in a good mood and kind of a nice state of mind for getting ready for active labor. So the next section then would be the physical, objects that you can use for labor that will help you in the whole process. Some are quite obvious, like obviously your yoga mat and your yoga ball are really helpful for labor. Something else then would be your TENS machine. I used this on both of my labors and plan on probably using it again. A really useful tool, doesn't affect the baby at all, and kind of keeps you engaged enough and kind of alleviates the cramps of labor. So basically you attach the pads to your back, and each time you feel a contraction coming on, you press the button and it sends electric currents to kind of block the pain. I really liked it. I found it so useful during labor. And the best tip that I got from someone was to, as soon as you feel like you need something extra, like doing your active breath poses, or your using your ball or whatever isn't enough, to start with the TENS machine. And I found it great. I bought my TENS machine in Lidl when I was pregnant on my first baby over 6 years ago, and I've used it on both my pregnancies, and I've loaned it to friends as well, and it still works and it's fine. It cost me about €24 and it's great. I would really recommend you have one, even if you don't use it. It's no big deal, no loss, but if you do, it could be such a great tool for coping during labor. So next, I would definitely recommend that you have music and headphones or a speaker, depending on where you are when you're using it, but definitely have some kind of headphones. For my last labor, I used wireless headphones, and they were so handy because I had the TENS machine with wires coming out one side, and then with headphones, wires another. It was just too much. So the wireless headphones were really handy. I just had music on my phone. I like to listen to Krishna Das during labor. I don't know what it is. I just love his mantras and find it really grounding and just internalizing. But you are going to choose whatever music makes you feel good and relaxed, because the whole idea is the more relaxed your body is, the better it is at inviting those contractions in and helping to open the cervix. So I definitely would recommend music. And along with that is your hypnobirthing tracks. If you're listening to some sort of hypnobirthing, which I definitely would recommend as well, that can be really nice to do during labor as well, especially if you've been listening to it all during your pregnancy. It will definitely put you in a kind of a deep, relaxed state of mind. So your hypnobirthing tracks saved to your whatever music device you're going to use, as well as your relaxation music. Also, for your birth toolkit, I would recommend having maybe some reminders of really lovely things in your life, like let's say photos of your loved ones, if you already have children, or of your partner, of your people that are really important to you. Having a photo can be just a really nice thing to look at during labor. It can give you kind of just good feelings. Same goes for maybe if you have like a smooth stone or like in a piece of jewelry that's really special to you, to have that ready and to just be able to hold it. I, for example, bought myself a rose quartz stone a couple of weeks ago, and I just loved the size and the shape, and I plan on just having that in my labor toolkit because it's something lovely to hold that can just feel really nice. I will of course have all the little bits from my mother blessing in my labor toolkit, or like beside it. I'll probably have that on my birth altar and just be able to take bits if I need them, which will include the photos, the stones and beads, and the well wishes and blessings of my friends and family who are at the blessing. So I'll have all those bits, including the candles and the stuff I've already talked about. So the next thing that I would recommend to have in your birth toolkit is food and drinks. So you're going to want stuff that's kind of easy to eat and quick and gives you like a lot of energy. So like cereal bars, peanut butter, honey. You could have like, let's say, dried fruit, nuts, and then drinks. You're going to need water with a straw, and you can make up your own like labor aid recipe, which will give you kind of more energy as well. But food and drinks are definitely important during labor, especially if it's quite long, because you'll need all that energy. So a really nice natural way to alleviate the pains of labor is to use water. Now you can get into the shower, especially if you turn around and let the water kind of flow over your back, especially your lower back, or you can have a bath if you don't have a birth pool. But a birth pool is great if you do have one. My daughter was born in water, and it was a great pain relief, a natural pain relief to have that. Remember that you can use the toilet for as a birth tool, because sitting on the toilet, especially if you're like, let's say, in hospital and you just want some privacy, that can be just a really lovely way to get privacy, is just to sit in the loo and labor there for a while, because it's somewhere where we're used to feeling safe, we're alone, and I labored on the loo for both of my labors for quite a bit, and it's a great way to use gravity to help, open the cervix as well. Also, you can use homeopathy during labor. You can get a special homeopathic labor kit. It's something that my midwife has always used, and I let her, put the remedies in the water, and I take whatever she advises. Obviously, it'd be good to see a homeopath to get recommendations, but it is something that's completely harm-free for your baby, and it's good for you, and it's good for after the birth as well for healing. And then just some kind of comfort measures, like making sure you have lip balm and hair bobbins, blankets, socks. I'm not going to need those things because I'm going to be at home, but if you're going into hospital, you're going to need those kind of just little comforts. Right, so I think they're the physical objects. And now we're going to move on to what's probably the most important part of your labor toolkit, is what you have inside you. But it's just a kind of a reminder that you have it. You have all these tools at your disposal already, especially if you've been going to pregnancy yoga, and especially if you've been practicing, your own whatever meditation or practices at home during your pregnancy. So the first thing that you have is your breathing, all your breathing techniques that you have learned. So for example, straw breath, J breath, 3-part breath, using mantras, whatever ones you have, the whole idea is that you just breathe as deeply as possible to get as much oxygen into your body as possible, so that your contractions can work. They just help calm, they help focus, they help relax. They have so many different benefits that really your breathing techniques are probably your biggest tool for coping during labor. The next thing that you have at your disposal already is your active birth poses. Now I have a vlog done on that as well. I have just 5 poses that you can use during birth. Also, you might think of other ones, and that's fine, whatever comes to you, but practicing them now is really important, because then you'll have them for labor, and it's good to know which ones might work during different parts of labor. So just watch that vlog, and you have your mat. You don't even need a mat, really. You can do it on the bed if you need to. Those poses will really help because staying active during labor just helps to move it along. It uses the force of gravity. The worst thing you can do is lie down in the bed on your back, because your pelvis will not be able to open as much as it should. Your tailbone will not be able to flip back like it should. The best thing to do is to make sure you're upright. You have visualizations that hopefully you've been practicing during your pregnancy. If you've been going to like yoga classes or have been to a retreat or anything like that, you will have learnt, different visualizations. It could be the opening of a flower. It could be a safe place that you can go to kind of, block everything out. There are a lot of different ones. The ocean waves are an amazing visualization that I used during my first labor that really helped me. So each contraction I visualized as an ocean wave, and it just like felt really, really powerful, but really helpful to bring me through, all those contractions. So visualizations are a really, really powerful tool that you have inside you already. Use it. Your positive birth affirmations. Now, this is something that you might have saved to your iPod or whatever you're going to listen to your music with. If you've been repeating them to yourself, and chances are, or hopefully you have, like you've picked 3 or even just 1 affirmation that you repeat to yourself constantly, use it during labor. There will be a time where you'll need it. You'll need that strength. There's one affirmation that I've used during my labors, and then in general in life, to get me through, difficult situations. I am strong. I am confident. Like, it's just amazing. That just helps me with so much. I was born to birth my baby. There's so many different positive birth affirmations that you can use. You can Google and you can make your own up. And you just need to keep repeating them to yourself during pregnancy and then in labor as well, because it will give you a lot of strength. Using sound during labor is so useful. Just to remember, like, it will come to you naturally. Anything low and deep is better. High-pitched kind of screams are kind of associated with fear, and that's not what we want. We want low-pitched, kind of guttural, even like ums or vocal kind of ah, ooh, anything like that is really good, especially because it's going to relax your jaw, which will in turn relax your sphincters of your pelvic floor, which will just make birthing easier. If you can laugh at all, it kind of relaxes everybody, and it just releases just good feelings, and that's what you want, it's a good thing. So that's like part of the using sound and laughter, is to relax the jaw. Even if you're not saying anything, or if there's no sound coming out, even just making sure that your jaw is open, your mouth is open, or your jaw is relaxed will really help during labor as well. So even having someone to remind you of that is great. Then you can use massage, or if someone can massage you, or use pressure points, acupressure. They are things you can learn during pregnancy. If you go to like an antenatal classes or like a birth preparation course with your partner, it's something that they will obviously have to learn and can use for you. So they're also like skills rather than objects, let's say. So that is it. They're the 3 kind of sections to my birth toolkit that I am offering you. I am hoping to be able to upload a copy of this that you can download yourself and use, adding your own bits to it, taking away what you don't want. And if there's anything in particular that you like or that you think that should be on the list, please let me know, because I'm always adding to mine. And it's just, if this helps anyone at all, I would just be so happy. So let me know, and thanks a million for watching, and remember to subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Cheers. Bye bye.